Marvellous. Hello and welcome. Good morning. I'm Helen. We're here for Pilates and we're here for mobility and some physical enrichment this morning, everyone. Going to ditch my glasses before we get going. Right. Okay, so equipment wise today is block. So we need a little block. Okay, and that's it. So what I'd like us to do is a bit of a toe to top warm up and mobility before we get going, and we'll start by lining up our feet. It's quite cold this morning. I'm feeling a bit cold this morning, so I'm in my socks. Okay, so think about the block aligned to your feet, and we're just going to rise and fall using the big and second toe. While we're doing that, let's cue in all those postural things that we talk about. So while we're rising and we're falling, we need to think about just tucking under the pelvis. Think about the legs spiraling, so we lift up through the arches and we feel that opening up through the front of the body. We feel that tension on underneath the boobs, your rib cage nice and tight, lifting up through the chest, the collarbone, shoulders, back and down. So all the while we're moving you whilst instructing. So it's tension on here. Here is the important bit. This tilt of the pelvis is really important, and we'll put some real focus into that today. Okay, forget about that for a second. I want you to put your left foot on the block. Just wake up through the hip. So we're bending the knee and then we're lengthening through the hip. So down and up. So if you imagine your hips are out of kilter, they come up through neutral and all the way to the top and back down again. So this is simply just waking up the lower back muscles. Interestingly enough, I can feel popping and clicking in my own back and in my own knees as I perform this movement. But it is so important here to wake up those obliques, part of your core muscles. Okay. Last time, stay at the top of the movement, transfer your balance onto the block, and we'll stay there in our first balance challenge. So we're short in the obliques, long on the standing side, nice and tall, brace through your center. Balance challenge 1. Okay, now if you want to, you can use your arms as a bit of a prop, but no pressure. Okay, well done. Foot comes down, and then from there I just want you to push out through that hip that's on the block. Just stretch it off. Lovely. Switch sides. So it's just a moment. Same thing. We're lifting and lowering, getting some movement into the hip, movement into the back. Thinking about really pressing down through the leg on the block and feel that change of angle in the pelvis. Very important that we get this going. So, and it is important because we talk about the six pack, you know, with the front of your core, your rectus abdominis and your transverse abdominis. So here, but we need to think what's going on around the sides, your obliques and into your back, and starting to work up the multifidus and around the muscles, traveling up your spine. Okay, stop at the top of that movement. That's right, I'm on the other side. Oh, I don't know which side I'm. Top of the movement, and then come into a balance. Okay, and we hold that again. Arms are optional. So, and this is just waking up the body, prepping the brain, the neuroplasticity, so we can adapt quickly into the session. Well done, well done. Okay, shake it out, hip out, stretch it out through the outside of the hip. That's nice, right? Okay, let's take our attention to our feet for a second. Okay, so I just want you to rock forward and backwards, rolling through the whole of each foot. So we're going heel, toe. So my mum's poorly, so she's messaging me. Okay, right. So keep your weight on the front foot. So, and I want you to think about how your toes are feeling. Just allow your toes to stretch out for a moment. Now we're going to lift the back leg and drop your toenails down onto the floor and just get that stretch out of the front of the foot, the top of the foot. Got it? Okay. Now, the same leg, the leg that's being stretched, the same arm comes up and lean back for me, looking up. So this is a big fascia stretch here and release. Okay, well done, and release. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So it's a forward and backwards rock. Again, this is about that lubrication into the joints of the toes. Shifting weight forward and back as well. So this tends to hit into the anterior posterior wall of the pelvic floor cavity as well. Lovely. Now we come forward, leave our weight through the front leg and enjoy the stretch through the toes of the back leg, part one. Lovely. Lift the back leg and drop the toenails down. Ooh, that feels nice for me. Enjoy that stretch through the front of the ankle. Use your breath if you need to. And then the same leg that's stretched back, the same arm comes up, lean back. Lovely. Oh. Oh. And release. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, lovely, lovely. See, nice things. Okay, so we're nice and wide. So widen your stance, and all I want you to do is just rock your hips side to side for a second. There'll be a little bit of a knee bend, a little bit wider if you can. Stick out your tush. Several things happening here. So legs separated, we need to focus on that pelvic floor concentration here. So as we move side to side, think about lift and tension. Think above your bikini line, and that's where we're starting to pull up into the pelvic floor. Okay, and the same thing that's going on, there's a stretch out of the groin at the same time as we go side to side. Okay, rest, release. Okay. From here, what I'd like us to do is just push the tush back and have a wiggle and stretch your arms forward to me. Drop your arms and rise up and squeeze your butt through. Lovely. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lean forward, stretch out your arms. Enjoy that sensation behind your legs. Rise up, squeeze shoulder blades together, send arms back. Exhale, stretch forward. Lovely lean. Enjoy that sensation in your feet. And then back. Okay, this time as you lean forward, I want you to, instead of weight in heels, come forward onto the balls of your feet. So you should move forward a little bit more. Okay, well done. Knee bend and rise up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Always a favourite of mine, that wide base sway. Okay, and we're going to do this super mega slow. Super mega slow. Okay, so as we do this, let's add in a little reach. So not only is this a really powerful exercise for balance, additional features, think about the foot and how much effort and energy that's required in that foot and the journey up through the knee into the hip. Notice if there's a difference between the one foot and the other, and the stability as you travel up the leg. Now if you're starting to feel pain, switch sides. If you feel that you're starting to dump into the back and there's pain in the back, that would tell me that we're forgetting about the core muscles, the pelvic floor muscles. So as you come over, just think about that tension on, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Last time. Last time before I adapt. Now we're going to do this. Now the challenge is this, so bear with me. We're going to repeat the movement onto side one. Now make sure you feel nice and safe. But what if you closed your eye or eyes for maybe 3 or 4 seconds? How does that feel? Well done. Release. That's terrifying, isn't it? Same on the other side. As soon as you take away one of your senses, right? Everything goes woo. Okay, put your feet back down, give you a bit of a shaky. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so we're going to move to the back of our mats and we're going to roll down. Now, we've done this so many times over the years. The focus is belly to backbone. The abdominal muscles drive the movement. They're the primary movers in this challenge. So we need to think about right the way through the flexion and the extension. The belly is driving the movement. So we think, pull it in, shorten and compress as you lower. Now we're not going all the way to the floor here. We're just enjoying phase 1 of the stretch. Pull it in and rise. Reset your body. Lift up and out through your collarbone. Breathing in, breathing out, chin to chest, sucking your belly into your backbone. I tried to breathe and talk at the same time, then I failed. Keep rolling down, pause, enjoy that stretch. Equal weight through the feet, breath in. Exhale, rise up to the top of the movement. Lovely. Take a breath in. Here we go. We're getting a little deeper now, team. So bear with. Eye gaze through your thighs. Knees slightly bent. Arches lifted. Knees slightly off lock, but feel that stretch. Breath in. Exhale, rise up to the top of the movement. Okay, we're going to go again and we're going to enjoy that fold. Breath in. Breath out. Chin to chest. All the way down. Eye gaze through thighs, knees. See if you can get your fingers towards the ground. Bring your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Beautiful. Slowly rise up all the way to the top of the movement. Slowly, at the top of the movement, the arms come up. We squeeze the buttocks together, lean backwards, open up your chest, really send those arms nice and wide. Squeeze the buttocks to protect the back. Well done. Release your arms. Last time, we roll all the way down. Stay down. Walk your hands out, knees come to the floor. You are in a box position. Well done, stay there. Okay, so out of the box position, let's just do a little circle with the upper body around the hands, clockwise and anti-clockwise. We start small and then make it big. So really work through the whole of your body. Your bottom will come back over your heels and then forward over your fingertips. So shifting your weight. Enjoy how that feels with your wrists. Do you need to lengthen your elbows? Are we caving in into the elbows a bit much? Index fingers pressed, thumbs pressed into the mat as you perform the movement. Release, relax. Owen, are you there? Switching cameras. Thank you, my darling. Okay, so we're staying on all fours for a moment. We've been working through this movement recently, just rocking side to side, fingers forward. Good. Okay, turn hands in. So both turn in 90 degrees in. Now let's just work on the shoulder blades. Now hopefully you can see this from the camera angle. Squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then I'm rounding up and pushing my rib cage into my shoulder blades. So I'm lowering and lifting with straight arms. Index fingers pointing to each other. Enjoy how this feels. It's a bit of a weird one. Okay, and now we rock side to side. And the reason we're doing this, we're hyperextending through the wrist joint here, so it'd be quite strong into the wrist, but that's so important. Lovely, lovely. Sit back, bottom onto heels, and give yourself a moment just to roll out your wrists. So rolling them might be one thing. What you could also do is entwine fingers and just give yourself a bit of a rub, rub, rub. Okay, entwine and press the palms of your hands towards me. Okay, I like to add in a bit of a thumb circle at the same time because I think that gives me an additional stretch into my hands. Ooh, lovely. Okay, morning, by the way. Hopefully we're feeling nice and mobile. Lovely. Okay, so let's address balance here as we're in 4-point kneeling. Okay, so if I just demonstrate what I'm looking for. Actually, I'm going to go this way. Right, okay. What I'm looking for, when historically we've performed this movement, right, we know this really well. So today we're going to activate the gluteals. So to do that, watch, I'm just dropping my bottom towards my heels as the starting position. Okay, right. So that's part one. Part two is then bringing my hands a little closer. So the space from the heel of my hand to my knee is narrower. Okay, and now I'm just going to stretch out one arm forward, pull it in, switch sides. Notice the elbow joint. Work on, so you're keeping your bum over your heels, but work on a straight arm, okay? Okay, right. I'm shuffling forward. Right, so the next part is this. Let's just work on legs. So your starting point, your bottom is towards your heels. You are going to take the weight off one knee and then you're going to send it out. Now, because you started further back, you'll notice your core muscles are firing in quicker. Switching sides. Now, I'm going to try not to twist my pelvis. And I'm looking to get my heel up to the same height as my bottom. Now, what's happened is, as I start focusing on my legs, I've noticed that I'm starting to cave in through my upper body. So let's really put some attention into those lovely elbows. Okay, now opposite arm to leg. Now, your head is quite heavy, so we don't want that to dangle. Think about that neutral spine. Lovely. Okay, now to get overload, we're going to repeat 6 on one side only. Now, if you feel like you're packing into your elbows a little bit too much, just focus on the leg bit. But I really want you to think belly to backbone, neutral spine, so we're taking the chin away from the chest. Lovely. You look good. Once you've done your 6 on one side, we repeat that on the other side. All this wrist bone loading, hey? Beautiful. Once you've completed that, we're going to sit back in child's pose. I want you to take your knees wider and your toes together as you do this before you lean down. So really enjoy that stretch in the back. Now, seeing that you all have your blocks on standby, what I'd like you to add in, I think we did this last week, didn't we, from the other studio, we popped the elbows onto the block and lowered our heads. Now focus on two things. Firstly, the sensation into your back. So if you feel today you want to keep your body weight, your bottom over your heels, please feel free to do so. But have a little play where your elbows are landing on the block. How do your lats feel? So around the armpits into the back, shoulder stretch, top of the shoulders. Just work with this. So make this a real active stretch, okay? And we're going to be here for about another 10 to 15 seconds. You're welcome. Enjoy it. Now today for me feels like a back day, so I'm pushing into my heels and I'm pulling my belly button into my backbone and lifting my pelvic floor at the same time. Lovely. Now, there was a time, team, when we would be knocking out planks and side planks, and I've noticed that we've given that a bit of a stern ignoring of late. So let's have a look at knee variation. So we need to think about bringing your body weight over your hands. So that's part one. And let's just familiarise ourselves with this, because this is that fear factor that I tend to see with the ageing groups that we're working with, including myself. So what I'd like us to do is to drop the hips so all your weight is into your hands, then turn onto your side. Reach your arm towards the ceiling if you need that. Now we're trying not to dump into the shoulder, so we really need to lift up through the hip. Come back down to your starting position and then flip over to the other side. Hand come down, weight over hands and wrists, so it really activates those core muscles. Lovely, lovely. Okay, right, sit back, because now we're going to see if we can make that a little bit bigger, okay? And some of you might prefer to be on the hand. If not, how does it feel on the elbow? So you can try that as well. So we're going to try and do a full plank. Boom, boom. Turn onto our side plank. Just don't feel like we've given this enough love for a while. Back into plank. And then we turn onto the other side. Okay. Bring your knees down and then give yourself a moment. So I want you to just take your time with this. Couple of things. Think about the alignment, the neutral spine. So we're not dangling the head. That's important. If we maintain that neutral, it really helps us with the back load. Are we all right? So if you don't want to do the full plank, we've got a thumbs up, we're okay, right, good. If you don't want to do the full plank, you modify. We just have a tendency to go into the path of least resistance. So find the thing that works for you. Lovely, lovely. Well done, lovely people. So even though I'm post vertigo, I noticed that changing of planes starts to trigger headaches for me. I don't know if you feel the same. So yeah, some of you are like, don't like it. My wrists have been battered, they're saying. Okay, so what we're going to do from here, we're going to sit on our bottoms. You have blocks, new challenge. Pop your feet on those blocks. And we're going to slowly half roll back. From here, roll up, half roll back and reach out to one side, roll up and repeat on the other side. Half roll back. So think about coming down and using those abdominal muscles in that rotation. and that reach. Lovely jubbly. Is there increase of depth? It's quite hard, isn't it, with your heels up on the blocks? If you feel like you're wobbling too much, you can take those feet off the blocks. The nice thing about this, we're maintaining that C shape with the spine. The rotation really brings in the obliques. Lovely, and all of this challenges balance. Well done. Last time. Okay, and then roll all the way down. We're moving the block and taking the block under your head. Okay, so the block's under your head. For a moment, let's just have a little adjustment of the shoulders to get some really good alignment. First things first, think about drawing your chin towards your chest, and then work on getting as much of your shoulder blades onto your mat. What may happen is your hands will end up naturally curling and palms up. So we're working on getting as much as the shoulder blade onto the mat as possible. So at the moment we're just focusing on upper body, right? Okay, from there, I want you to activate your core muscles by bringing your legs closer together and imagine your the top of your hip bone on the front is aligned to the center of your knee and your second toe. So everything is pointing nicely towards the ceiling, and you'll notice that you're just squeezing your thighs together a little. Okay, so that's lovely, isn't it? And the last thing is under your boobs, so think about where your ribs are. I want you to really focus on knitting those ribs together. So again, there'll be a bit of a rib adjustment, thigh adjustment to just hold this nice and flat. Okay, so let's focus on arms first. Arms towards the ceiling. So they should remain in neutral. So they're not flat on the floor now, they're just slightly elevated. And you should feel your shoulder blades on the mat below you. You should feel that knitting of your ribs together. You should feel tension above your pubic bone. Okay, and what we're going to do here is take right hand down, left thumb up. So left thumb to floor above your head, pinky down on your right side. Switch. So, and this will be a bit of a challenge, Chris, I understand that. So work within your range of movement, but don't ignore. So we have to still keep the joint actions firing. We have to still work on the muscle roles and responsibilities. So the joint still has to do what it's designed to do, and the muscles need to work around that joint. Notice the differences, if there are any, between the one shoulder and the other. Okay, last time, and then we sweep the arms out across the floor into a half circle. Come up and overhead like a rainbow, up and overhead like a rainbow again, and then into a half circle, hands brushing the floor. Up and over, so there's 1 and 2. So there's your soldier arms, and then out to the side. I have a twice, 3 times. Toy soldier. So we go 1, 2 toy soldiers, 1 arm circle. Interesting, if you're out of alignment, what you might notice is a lot of movement in the shoulder blade. So really focus on that stillness in the upper body. Okay, arms back out. So sorry, out to 3 and 9 o'clock. Okay, so we're going to draw the heels into the bottom, keeping the legs relatively close together and your big toes pointing away from you. Okay, so everything's straight and aligned, and we're just going to start to work on rolling up through the spine. Your arms out to your side. 3 and 9 o'clock. So drift the bottom away from the floor, the hips and pelvis. Go as far as you can. So what will happen is, because your head is on the block, you feel, again, quite restricted in your movement and your boobs get in the way. Okay, from here, I don't want you to fully relax off. I don't want you to get the bum down onto the mat. So your bum is lifted, you come all the way to the top of the movement and then down again, but not all the way. You're not going to turn it off here. And that just allows for that low level connection into the pelvis and your core muscles. Okay, top of the movement, stay there. Right cheek clench, left cheek clench. So we go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So we're allowing for a little bit of a hip swing. Right cheek, left cheeks. Right cheek, left cheek. Right cheek, left cheek. And continue. So so what will happen is gravity is going to pull your bum down towards the ground. So really make sure your hips stay nice and high. Right cheek, left cheek. Now let's pick this up. Go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right cheek, left cheek, right cheek, left cheek. Swing. So by now you should get a little bit of a connection into the low back. So both bum cheeks together. Tense, push. So we're going to press for 20 towards the ceiling. Go as high as you can, nice and high. Press, press, little higher. So think through the inner thigh, push, nice and high. Once you've completed your 20, take the block out of the way. Bring your hips back down. Draw your knees into chest. And we get that relief there. Good, good. Circle with the knees, one direction and then the other. Lovely. Okay, and then when you're ready, pop those feet down on the floor. Well done, team. Okay. You change position, then everything falls off, doesn't it? There you go. So my earpiece fell out my ear, then my sound pack fell out. It's a bit of a metaphor for life. Right. Basics. So we've had a little rest. Bring the soles of your feet together, allow the knees to drop out, just for a moment. Now, if you want to, you could try this. Do tiny little presses or little bounces. So tiny, tiny, tiny little pulses. So the knees are going bounce, 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 bounce. There you go. Now, as you become a little bit more conscious of the movement, notice that maybe your calves have got involved, inner thighs have got involved, pelvic floor's definitely got involved. Okay, so it feels a bit convoluted now, all right? So press the soles of your feet together, still bounce your knees. It's a bit of a weird one. Now relax. Relax, relax. Relax the pelvic floor off. Let it go. Oh, lovely. Okay, so we're going to put a little combo together now. Feet flat on the floor. Right leg comes up into half tabletop. Okay, so we're just going to pump it out and in. When the leg goes out, heel floats off the ground. So you're really pushing that towards the skirting board. Pump it back in. So let's do 6 one side, 6 the other. Two, last time. Pull it in, hold. Okay, now this time you're just going to dial out the knee a little bit. So you, from your tabletop, let it just drop out 10-15 degrees. So you should feel that in your belly straight away. Same thing, so you're just popping out and in, but this time your knee is just turning out towards the side of the wall and your toe is turning out a little bit. Now, whilst that's happening, you've got 3 more to go. You'll notice a bit more tension is required on the body to stop yourself flipping over. Okay, last time. Brilliant. Hold up into tabletop. Okay, now from here, I want you to put your other toe, your left toe down onto the mat. Your heel is lifted. You're going to repeat again. So you're going to go out for 6, 5, brace abdominals, 4, lovely, 3, beautiful, 2, last time. Okay, up half tabletop, knee drifts out. We're going to repeat again. So we're going out into the corner. Your left toe is touching, but your left heel's lifted. We're going to go again. 6, 5, brace abs, 4, lovely, and 3, well done, 2, I don't know about you, but I feel that. Last time, in hold. Left leg comes up, full tabletop. Okay, stay there. Okay, so your toes are going to touch, big toes. You're going to go out, out, in, knees wide. So out, out, in, knees wide. So you're looking for thighs to come closer towards the side of your ribs on the in phase, and a little lift of your buttocks off the floor as you bring your knees in and out and in and out. 2 more. Woo. Last time. Okay, hold. Tabletop, right foot comes down, right foot flat on the floor. Left leg goes out and in 6 times. 6, good job, and 5, 4, beautiful, 3, last time. Tabletop, allow the knee to drift out 50 degrees, so it's dropping out slightly. Same thing, so it goes out and in 6 times. 5. I don't know about you, but I got little tremors going on. Whew. Last time. Lovely. Okay, same thing, but this time right toe down into the ground, lift heel, out and in. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze butt, brace abs. Whew. In hold, knee drifts, out and in. 6, 5, 4, brace, last time. Whew. Knees in, toes connect. This time we're going to send the legs slightly higher, bend the knees, lift the bottom. So we go out, in and lift. Out, out, in and lift. Now it's okay if you bring the knees towards each other. You don't have to go so wide. So when you come in, you don't have to have little frog legs if you don't want to. Whew. I'm starting to feel the heat. Whew. Lovely, lovely. Last time. Feet down and give yourself a moment. That should be fairly intense into the hip flexors. So from here, the feet go as wide as possible. We're going to drop both knees to the right side and then to the left side. Now, don't be afraid to use your feet and push your feet into the ground to increase the stretch, hips and bottom. Does that make sense? Enjoy. Lovely, lovely. Okay, lovely. Okay, so Pat told me I had to turn off my watch this morning so it wouldn't beep at me, and it just hasn't stopped beeping since, so forgive me. Right, we're going to come into some circles. I need you today to think about the super engagement around the pelvis. So we're not just going to draw any old circle, all right? So I want you to focus more about the leg that's not moving. So we start this by bringing a right leg into half tabletop and then sending it straight away, full stretch, float it off your heel, float your heel off the floor, leg full stretch down and dangling. So you're activated, but the heel's floated, right? Okay, we're just going to do this. The toe is going to dial out and you're going to draw your leg up towards 9 o'clock and then back down into the center of your yoga mat. So where the toe and knee, they turn out, go as high as you can, skimming the floor, okay? Now we start to take our attention, our focus to the still side and really hope that that knee is staying as still as possible. And you might be conscious of shifting parts in your body. Okay, so that's how we get this going. Okay, switch sides. So, flat foot right, float, left foot, left heel. Just give yourself a moment, let that float. Same thing, it's going to dial out and go up to 3 o'clock and then back down again. So lots of moving parts. See if we can swing the leg close as you can towards the floor. I'm hitting our fake brick wall. Isn't this normally a white curtain? Okay, I knew it felt different today. Squeeze those inner thighs. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get tremors. Whew. Last time. Foot flat, good. Okay, so now we come back to right leg. Half tabletop set up. Right leg extends towards the ceiling. It drops out to 3 o'clock, down to the bottom of the yoga mat at 6 o'clock, back up through the center of the clock face, out to the side again. Okay, so up, around and down. Up, around and down. Good job. That's nice, yeah? Okay. When I say switch direction at this point, most of us have to take a think. I go, how, what do I do? Because at this point in the class, your nervous system is had a bit of a battering. So thinking and planning simple execution of movements tend to be more of a challenge as we get tired. Now, when you bring the leg out to the side, up and over, you should feel a lot of weight and you should feel a lot of challenges into the hip and waistband at this point. Okay, well done. Release, relax, switch sides. Okay, so left leg half tabletop. Then we extend the leg towards the ceiling. We drop out to the side, down towards 6 o'clock, back up through the center. Well done. That was some good mobility work there. And all of this is real sort of valuable stuff for hip health. Okay, now we reverse. Down and up and over. Oh. You look really strong, team. Okay, 2 more. Last time. Lovely. Okay, so bear with me. I'm just going to adjust where my packs are. I don't know where I've lost things. There you go. Right, okay, so I am going to come into a sit-up position. My feet are nice and wide. So if I just show you where we're at. So I'm going to try and use a bit of control. Arms are overhead, chin to chest, rolling up. Oh, first time round, bit of a challenge. Knees drop to one side and the centre, other side, centre, roll down. Okay, let's move that block again. Breath in, Exhale. And because your knees are bent, it's more of a challenge to bring yourself up, okay? So it's all right to use a little bit of momentum when you do this. Come back to center, roll all the way down. Now, that's enough for me because that I know that's going to trigger vertigo in a second. So I won't be going so quickly. But it's the sitting up. It's okay to use your arms. But what I'm looking for is the balance between the right and left side. When you drop your knees to one side then the other, that bit's quite important. It's hard, isn't it? Lovely. Excellent. Well done. Finish at the top because actually we're going to go onto our bellies. Because I need to do a bit of back extension work. Bring the block into play. When you're ready, roll onto your belly and have the block so you can pop your forehead down on it. Okay, right. If you want to, and I always find this is quite useful, so from a fascia release point of view, when you lie on your belly, the first thing you should do is just knock your heels side to side so you're going over your kneecaps. Okay, part one. Part two, come up onto your elbows and start to push your pubic bone down. So have more of a conscious press of the pubic bone down into the floor. So a lot of the fascias cross over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is just focus on some kick work. Your upper body will be rested. Now, if you find your forehead on the block is too high, then just try and get your head nice and low, but your elbows wide for me. Elbows wide, lovely. Okay, so we're going to lift right leg, stretch it, point toe, pop it down, lift left leg, stretch it, point toe, pop it down. That's all we're going to do. So it's a little bit of extension work, but I want you to think about the inner thigh. So not only as you lift in the right leg, you're thinking about the tension, drawing the right thigh into the center of the body. Same on the left. Lovely. Notice one side may feel tighter or fighting to get into the midline of the body a bit more. Think about pointing through your toes as you perform this action. This gives you a lovely fascia release through the front of the body. Lovely, lovely. Okay, to progress this, right side only, we bend the right knee, we flex the right foot and then press the right foot towards the ceiling. So we're going to do 3, 2, 1 presses, one knee stretch, leg comes down, switch sides. So bend the knee, flex the foot, press the thigh off the ground, 3 presses towards the ceiling, then stretch out the knee, fully stretch, release down, switch sides. So we lift, flex and flex, thigh comes off first, that's the important bit, and then 3, 2, 1 push, stretch leg, pop down, switch. Bend knee, flex foot, lift the thigh away. 3, 2, 1, point and stretch. Down one more time each way, on the right, on the left. Again, notice if one side feels tighter than the other. Beautiful. Little piece of heaven. Hands rested as close to your chest as possible. And we're going to use the upper body to push the shoulders. So shoulders come back and squeeze, elbows point to the back of the room. Press the heels down of the hands and rise up into a modified press up. Lay the thighs down, pubic bone down, bikini line, belly, ribs, boobs, chin. Squeeze shoulders, lengthen neck, push out of heels of hands to the top of the movement. Lower it back down again. So we're going to pick up this pace. You're going to give me 8 of these if you're okay with that. Again, it's stretching out the front fascia. It's using the gluteals to stabilize the back muscles. Well done. And once you've finished your 8, we push all the way back then and up into downward facing dog. Okay. Enjoy that stretch in the back. Walk your feet closer to each other. Bend one knee and then the other. Separate your feet, so walk your feet further away. And if you can, take your right hand towards your left ankle. Switch in, left hand, right ankle. Okay, reset. Bring your knees to the floor, bottom back onto your heels. Really fully stretch out in child's pose here. Remember options and variations. If you feel like taking your hands to your sides, palms up, forehead down, feel free. Well done. And then switching back. Make yourself nice and comfortable. Do a little bit of relaxation because you deserve it. You work really hard. Okie dokie. So you can sit, you can lie, do whatever you need to do. Let's just focus on some breath work. Now, I love to focus on breath work when I go deaf in one ear. I can really hear my own breathing, which always cracks me up. Right, so from where you are, I want you to close your mouth. Allow for some strong breaths through the back of the throat, almost like a growl, and be okay with that. That's like part 1. And you'll notice that you'll feel your lips will almost purse, and you'll feel that your, I frown that when I do this. Frowny face. Okay, now let's relax that. So what I want you to do is to now breathe through your nostrils into the back of your throat. So it'll feel fairly similar. Well done. Now calm your breath. If your mind starts to wander, come back into that breath work. Listen to the sounds of your breathing and where that breath is moving around your body. Well done. Think about your breathing into your diaphragm. So think the bottom of the ribs and allow the belly to swell. So we're moving any stress breathing from the top of your lungs down into your belly. Be okay that the breath is audible. Well done. And just these few moments, just to check in with yourself. Breathing is that connection from your mind to your body. And to invigorate your breath, go for some big fat sighs. Feel the shift in your rib cage, like there's movement in your torso as you take in the breath. Let it go. Create some movement to your fingers and toes. Stretching out your hands, maybe rolling through your wrists, rolling through your elbows, rolling through your shoulders. Moving into a comfortable position on your side and into a seated position when you are ready. Well done. Okay. Still continuing just to regulate your breath again. And drift in, so you'll go off and wander in your thoughts. Just come back to some really focused, audible breathing, because it really helps you to stay in that moment. Reach your arms out sideways, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift up through your collarbone, neck nice and long. And when you're ready, bring your hands together into a circle and a round of applause. Well done, you worked so hard today. Sometimes I think that was better. It wasn't as frightening as last week. And then I get halfway through and go, oh. So I felt that was a lot of core and hips there. Are we good? Wrists okay? Hands okay? Beautiful. Well done, lovely people. It's always a shock. Oh, I've lost my earpiece. Hang on a minute. That one. And now I can hear you. Well done. Is Zoe in there?
You asked them if they're coming on Friday.
Yeah, lovely.